Thanks very much, Christian Macedonski, for inviting me here. It's a very interesting topic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have to excuse a bit. Christian asked me to be one of the opening speakers, and I said, unfortunately, I'm more or less the single dad right now who has to, prepare the breakfast for the kids and come from Bucharest to here. But the topic is very interesting. Smart cities, smart tourism, and a smart destination. What is it all about, and why is it not only because we have a personal relationship, a very good one, and always in communication, but I guess Austria is a tourism destination which actually has a legitimate right to talk about tourism. About 1/6 of our GDP is created directly or indirectly by tourism. This is about twice the share of the next country, which will be Spain, most likely. So our share of tourism creation in GDP is extremely high. So what does this also mean? This means that tourism and creating tourism and strengthening tourism could be a really, really strong economic development driver. So you can drive the economic development of a city, you can drive the economic development of a region, and especially of a destination. Tourism can be, as you heard from the numbers of Austria, tourism can be an economic backbone. So let's talk about the Romanians in Austria, which is the other way around right now, but it's a very interesting fact which you might not know, which you might not be aware of, but we tell everybody, and it's very interesting that most of the people are completely surprised by the numbers. We have about 330,000 arrivals of Romanians in Austria. We have about 850,000 overnights. But we have 130 euros daily expenditure by Romanians, plus accommodation, plus transport and some other expenses that are being given out, which means that the Romanian tourist spends 30% more than the average European tourist in Austria, which is, I guess, a fascinating number that nobody would... it's not only shopping, it's the fact is actually that many Romanians, when they go for tourism, when they go for skiing and winter holidays, they actually go to Ischgl, they go to Soton, they go to the top locations, the top spots, top destinations. So we're very happy about having you all the time in Austria, and if I may make a bit of advertisement, please keep on coming and keep on coming in bigger numbers. Anyway, we talked about a great basis for economic development, but for the economic development, for the development of tourism, of a tourism destination, you need a basis for the tourism. And me having been here very often, also by invitation of Christian Macedonski in Brașov, I have to tell you that as a destination, as an overall destination, as a region, you have an impeccable landscape, you have a beautiful culture, history, historical sites. You have Poiana Brașov, you have skiing, you have the mountains, you have the bears, which are fascinating to many people in Austria, nature lovers. So you have actually a really, really good basis to build even stronger onto the tourism, because I think tourism in Brașov is already well developed compared to some other regions in Romania. But talking about Romania overall, you have everything. You have the landscape, you have the sea, you have the winter tourism, you do have culture, you do have history, you do have more or less everything. And in terms of what is being created here, also I guess Christian Macedonski and I see the roll-up of the Oktoberfest back there. This is also something where you can create a lot of tourism. This is going to bring people in earlier or later. If you look at Munich, and we got someone from Munich with us today, if you look at Munich and what the Oktoberfest has done in tourism development to Munich, that's actually amazing, and what money that it brings in. But let's talk a bit about the existing cooperation that we have together, especially with Brașov and the Brașov area. Everybody of you knows that in Poiana Brașov, I guess, all the lifts are from an Austrian company which is called Doppelmayr. It's the biggest company in lifts and gondolas worldwide, doing a lot of development there. And we're very happy to have this long-standing history of good cooperation. But what not everybody might know in here is that Austrian-Romanian cooperation is also done in tourism destination development. So the villages of Bran, Moiece and Fundata, they have a project going on with geodis from Austria. Sorry. With a project of geodis in Austria, thanks very much. With geodis in Austria and the Technical University in Vienna, and actually developing a tourism destination. With Bran, with the Castle of Bran, you got an excellent basis for that development. And one thing that is being done here and which is more or less new to Romania in tourism development, and I actually dare to say that here in front of the audience, because in Austria we were like 30 years ago, we were in the same situation. Every village itself made tourism advertisement. Every village itself tried to get the tourists, to attract the tourists, and it took us decades to find out that the only way you can attract lots of tourism and tourists is actually building a destination. A destination means it's not one city, it's not one village, it's actually a complete region, and it's not only skiing or it's not only cultural tourism, but it's the whole mixture out of it. And this creates a tourism destination. This will create a permanent and year-long, all 4 seasons inflow of tourists. So that is one cooperation project that we are doing with Geodis and Rasvantura, which you definitely know. But there has been another project for cooperation, which we've done together, and we've been, end of last year, this year we have been in Austria, and we've been scouting a bit for education projects. So actually a hospitality school, kind of a tourism school, where you have different professions that are being taught, and I think it's a really, really important point that education and good people and good service is the basis for great tourism. So the tourists will come back if they actually see that that what they get is value for money, and what they get is some quality for money. But what can you do with tourism and tourism development and destination development? I guess you can actually build a bright future, and this is what it's all about. So I wish you all the best, all the luck, and especially if you talk about smart tourism, I guess there's 2 points behind it which we in Austria also had to find out, and it's efficiency on the one hand side, and especially sustainability. Sustainability also in terms of environment. I mean, we found out in Austria that our environment is the basis for our tourism, and this is the reason why we care so much for it. This gave us actually a technological lead in environmental technologies in Austria. So the outcome of something like this can be much bigger than you think right now. So I wish you all the best and a great development of the tourism in Brașov. Thank you very much, Christian.